The Fantasy Football Heroes and Villains podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code SGP. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Pick'em in college or NFL and win up to 20x in one game. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. D-Gens assemble. Welcome back to Fantasy Football Heroes and Villains. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Raub. Andrew, it's been a minute. How you been, sir?
Has been a minute. I've been on the East Coast, flew out to the West Coast to watch Week 1 in Las Vegas. Was pretty amazing, but I did miss doing the podcast, man. I missed talking to the people, helping people win their leagues with, some may say, the darling of fantasy football, Puka Nacua. Just saying. Just had to get that out on the top. But yes, man, love being
the Week
back.
1 victory lap, Andrew. You want to?
That's right.
Go ahead?
Hey, man. I don't know if I'll get it again, so I got to take it while it's here. But yeah, I'm very excited to be back on, talk some start sits for Week 2. This game has been lackluster, to say the least, with the Vikings and Eagles here. So hopefully we get some more scoring going on, because these are two hotbeds for fantasy.
That's true. That's true. We do need some fantasy action from these two teams tonight in the Eagles and the Vikings. But tonight we are talking about our Sunday and Monday night matchups. We're talking start or sit mailbag, taking the questions from the fans, from the Twitters, from the SGPN Fantasy Football Discord, from Reddit, Facebook, all over. If you want to have your questions answered on our podcast, just DM us on Twitter at SGPN Fantasy, or you can find me and Andrew at our handles below on the X app. Andrew, let's kick it off here so we can get back to football pretty quick. Why don't you go ahead and pick one of the questions? We're just going to go back and forth here. I think we've got a good bunch to break down some fantasy analysis for Week 2. Very excited here.
All right, let's go with Francis Drake from Facebook has asked us, I drafted RB heavy and have Chubb and Henry as starters. My flex spot is down to Joe Mixon or David Montgomery. Who do I go with? So again, this is Joe Mixon versus Baltimore or David Montgomery versus Seattle. Bruni, why don't you hit this first?
I like David Montgomery versus Seattle in this one. I just like the offensive line a lot more for Detroit, and the identity of their team clearly is running the ball. While the Bengals will bounce back, I'm betting, playing Baltimore. Both of these matchups are home games. Mixon gets the Ravens at home. Montgomery gets Seattle at home. Well, I do expect the Bengals to play better in Week 2 to bounce back. I think that's going to be behind passing the ball a bit more. Joe Mixon, I think still a very good start. I think you start him over a lot of players, but we saw David Montgomery find pay dirt in Week 1. Very good offensive line there. Less passing assets in general. You know, you have Jared Goff versus Joe Burrow. Obviously, the receiving talent far less so for Detroit than with the Bengals. So I like Montgomery to get similar volume to Week 1, maybe a little bit better on efficiency. I know he was like 20 plus carries for only 70 rushing yards. Not amazing, but I think we can build on that up against the Seattle defense also that didn't look good in Week 1.
Yeah, make it 2 for 2 here. I'm also on David Montgomery over Joe Mixon. Just like the spot for him. I mean, they used him a ton. I don't think that's going away. They already said that they want to work Jahmyr Gibbs in a little bit more, but I mean, I don't think he's going to go full bore 100% this week. So yeah, let's
Mhm.
ride with Montgomery for this week. And I mean, you can feel pretty safe starting him most weeks. I really believe. I mean, it's no different than what we saw from the Lions last year with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. So I mean, I think that until the wheels fall off here, ride Montgomery. I mean, I like Mixon and all as well, but with this matchup, yeah, it's Montgomery for me.
Feels good to me. Feels good to me. Next up, we have Atlas Newton. Atlas Newton from Twitter asking Brock Purdy at Rams or Geno Smith at Detroit. I'm inclined to start Purdy, but Geno has a good matchup, and I don't want to overreact to week one. Which guy do I go with? What are your thoughts here? Kind of sticking around that Detroit and Seattle matchup.
Man, this one's a little tougher for me because Purdy balled out last week. His playmakers are awesome. They're gonna be able to extend plays and make Purdy look a little better. Rams defense looked pretty decent last week, but I don't know if I truly want to buy into it. Before the season, I think we all kind of agreed that the Rams defense wasn't great. So I, I'm not sure yet. Smith here, I would take Geno because I think this game's going to be high scoring.
Mhm.
Problem is they have issues with their offensive line now. I believe they had 2 offensive linemen go down. So
Yeah.
there's issues there with how long can Geno hold the ball.
Mhm.
I know everyone had to see the clip where he said, "Oh my God," when Aaron Donald was running at him freely. That could also be a problem with Aiden Hutchinson running at him. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's no Aaron Donald, but same kind of ordeal. I mean, he could get some free rushers at him. So
Mhm.
this is tough. If you were asking me DFS, I'd probably tell you Smith to be different, but in just regular redraft where you just want to get as many points as possible, you probably go Purdy here.
I think Purdy has the safer floor, and I think that's why he's the answer here because he's playing in an offense that I believe will still score more points than the Seahawks will this week. I still believe that their offense is just going to be in the scoring zone more often, in the red zone more often, and there's just going to be more opportunities for Purdy to close and bring home big production, just like we saw in week one. Not necessarily a darling, I will say. He didn't come out of nowhere. We've seen him do this before, but I think he was still better than what people expected returning from injury. A lot of people said he wasn't going to even be ready for week one. So I did think he was a bit of a surprise play coming into this week, but I still like him over Smith. And the Rams matchup is just good enough. I think both matchups here are pretty even from their opponent's point of view, Rams or Detroit. I think those are fine. I think Smith is in a good situation too, has some receiving weapons, but because of the offensive line issues, I think they, put the ball on the ground a little bit more this week.
Yep, agree. Let's see here. Let's go with there's a really quick question here before we talk a little bit about some DraftKings. Flex spot, PPR league. This person puts Montgomery, Stevenson, or Zay Flowers. Pick 2. This is Andrew from Twitter. Oh, hashtag Team Andrew. I love it. So
Got
PPR. Ooh,
got to be Zay for sure. So get Zay in there.
yeah, it is tough though with Zay. I mean, I think that it's a tougher matchup now, but I mean, he was so heavily involved, right? Like, so it's
Mhm.
probably Zay, and the Stevenson Montgomery is interesting. Stevenson has a pretty decent matchup with Miami.
I
Montgomery,
don't know,
we
man. They
just
like
talked about.
they barely used him though in week one. No,
Yeah, but I
Ramondre.
think yeah, but he was dealing with that illness. He missed practice a little bit. I think we can kind of push past that. Plus, I don't know if you saw what they said about Juju today. They hate Juju on
I
that
saw
team.
that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so like I think that they're going to be looking for anybody who's reasonable to catch the ball. That is Stevenson.
Mhm.
Man, I hate to fade Montgomery here, but I think for me it's Stevenson and Zay Flowers.
I just feel like Montgomery has a safer floor still over Stevenson. I mean, he did have 6 catches in week one. That's great. But at the same time, like if that's all that you're going to get and a little bit of rushing upside, I don't know. And I just feel like to beat the Dolphins, you're going to need to go vertical. We saw that in week one with the Chargers. They weren't really scoring until they were actually able to produce in the passing game. It was the running game that, kept them in it, that where they produced most efficiently per touch, but they needed that passing game. And I feel like that's still where they're weaker. So I'm gonna go with Montgomery and Zay, but that one is very close.
Okay. Let's hit a word from our sponsor real quick because I love DraftKings. You love DraftKings. We all love DraftKings. DraftKings football is back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Get in on NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use our code SGP to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Also want to tell the good people about Game Time. Bruni, you and I are considering going to the Bears versus the Commanders. Mono game. Where are we going to look? Is it StubHub? No. Is it any of those shit-tastic other ones that show you it's going to be $58, and then when you check out and it's $800 because there's $14,000 in fucking extra fees? No. It's not going to be any of those. It's going to be Game Time, baby. Game Time. Game Time is as I was saying, the best place to buy tickets for your favorite events, and it shouldn't be stressful. Game Time makes it fast and easy to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you with killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guaranteed. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you're going to be having. Game Time is the place for last-minute ticket deals. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price if you find tickets in the same section and row for less. Game Time will credit you 110% of your difference. That is a plus EV move, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and download the app, Game Time app, create an account, and use our code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's download the Game Time app, create an account, use code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Boom. All right, Bruni, let's get back to it here with our start sit for week 2. Rachaad White got great volume in week 1, but wasn't great in fantasy. Do we expect him to have a similar performance against the Bears, whose defense was, let's just say, awful last week? I could sit him for Jamal Williams. What would you do? This is Sarah Jones from Twitter. So, question is, Rachaad White versus Chicago or Jamal Williams versus Carolina? What say you, Bruni? Because these are your Bears.
Oh, because they are my Bears, I have to give you full confidence to continue to start Rachaad White. I do think he'll have a better week as far as a production standpoint goes. He was heavily involved. He was one of their most used assets for the Buccaneers in week 1. I'd like to see that, and I think that's going to roll over into week 2. Sean Tucker didn't do much to impress anybody behind him, and overall, again, they needed to pass the ball, something I also believe they'll be able to do up against the Bears defense that again, just looked atrocious, had zero consistency, couldn't catch a cold on third down, couldn't catch a break. I mean, I'm hoping that they come back more motivated, but I think you have to like what Rachaad White offers you up against a defense that's trending down after week 1. I like Jamal Williams, but I definitely like Rachaad White a bit more, especially in PPR.
Did you watch the Falcons and Bears game? Oh, I'm sorry, Falcons and Panthers game last week.
I did.
Did you see
via red zone?
Tyler Algier, the man who's leading the NFC South in rushing, tear up
the NFC South. That's
Panthers?
like one of eight divisions. Like
I'm just saying,
he's the best rusher of 4 teams.
Well, that division has some people in it. It has Bijan Robinson, who's on the exact same team.
Yep, and that's it. That's it, bud. No, Alvin Kamara suspended. Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard, Rachaad White. Congratulations, Tyler Algier. That's the group that you're leading over in rushing yards. Congratulations.
The point I'm making is number 2 on that list is I'm thinking number 4 on the list is Bijan, I believe. They both played this awful defense last week. Let's ride Jamal Williams, baby. Nothing against Rachaad White, because I do believe that he can run decently well against the Bears. But I think Baker's going to want to come out and show people that last week wasn't just a fluke, that Baker maybe can be the quarterback the entire year. So I'm going to ride Jamal Williams, man. This Panthers defense is
that's
dog shit. Dog shit. So
I
Jamal
thought their secondary was pretty good, actually. I thought their secondary did a pretty good job last week.
Well, the defensive line, the secondary ain't going to stop the run. Defensive line was bad. And they did just lose J.C. Horn, by the way, in the secondary. So that is not great for them. That is by far their best secondary.
Yeah, bar none.
But I'll tell you what, this is how I'm going to look at Jamal Williams, because I would play him over Rachaad White. If Jamal Williams can't do it against the Panthers, I don't think he's going to do it at all. Like he'll be behind Kendry Miller when he gets up and going, and Alvin Kamara definitely will be the guy when he comes back. So let's ride Jamal Williams. Let's say I'm going to go against the grain a little bit on this one.
All right, sounds good. Next question we have is Andrew should play the lottery after the Puka hot takes. He was awesome in week 1, but was on my bench. I was smart enough to draft him. Should I feel comfortable starting him over Amari Cooper? I don't want to force him into my lineup, but I do like his matchup more, and Watson didn't look good last week. What do you guys think? Mitch S. from the SGPN Fantasy Football Discord.
Well, first, Mitch S. sounds like a very reasonable, talented, smart person for listening to me about Puka. So kudos to you for listening to me, because some people said Puka would be nothing. He is something. Now, let's not get crazy, and this is where I figured Twitter would be heading this week, would be Puka over, George Pickens. Puka over, I figured we see this a bunch, right? With that
Puka
said,
over George Pickens might be a good idea.
I don't know, not with Deontay Johnson out, right?
I mean, I don't know. That offense did not look good. The Rams offense looked a lot better.
That is fair. That is fair. Puka versus Cooper, though. It doesn't say if it's PPR or not. I don't really think it's going to truly matter.
Let's assume it's PPR. Give me that answer.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson did not look good last week. There was a throw, I think it was in the second quarter or third quarter maybe, where he severely underthrew somebody that was open, severely.
What about
now again?
The
it was
interception
raining.
He threw? Wasn't it literally right dead square in the guy's chest? There was no one else around.
It was bad. Man, this is tough for me because I really like Puka. He was clearly the top receiver, clearly the guy Matt Stafford at least trusted, right? He got 15 targets, did pop up today with an oblique injury, did not practice. So that is worth monitoring for sure. Yeah, this one's tough, man. Jesus, San Francisco's defense so much better than Pittsburgh's defense. It is at Pittsburgh Monday night. It's at the Rams, so it's in a dome. I don't think the Rams have home field advantage though, because I do think the Niners team is going to travel. Gun to my head,
I'm going to say Puka. I'm going to keep it easy here. He looked better. He got open more. He was breaking in and out of routes easier. I'm going to say Puka. Screw it.
Man.
I mean, I wasn't on, the Puka train as heavy as you. I was in the back of the train on the caboose, as they say. I got a fair amount of shares. I drafted him here and there in Dynasty, but I wasn't Puka. I didn't start the parade for him like you did. I didn't roll out the red carpet, put on the red panties.
Maybe that's why I'm so hesitant. I'm like, oh God, the train's going so well, it's about to crash. Shit. Because of targets, because I think they're going to be behind in the game too. Let's go Puka, though I think it's going to be close. I do think Cooper is a good play this week, but yeah, man, Puka's hot right now. Watch the oblique injury though. Keep monitor that. If that's anything, if it says limited, I'd probably go Cooper. If it says he's going to be limited in the game, go Cooper. If not, ride Puka.
So let's say it was standard, because you were like, oh, if PPR or not PPR. So if it's standard, would you still go Puka?
Standard, I think if it's standard, I more go Cooper, because I think Cooper has a better chance of scoring a touchdown than Nacua does, but I think Nacua sees more targets. I'm
going to say Puka both ways, because let's ride.
Okay.
And
he has a great name. Puka Nacua is great. Oh, I saw somebody create a shirt from Hakuna Matata, from the Lion King.
Puka Nacua,
yeah, Puka Nacua. It means no worries. I'm like, I got to get that shirt. That's great.
You do need that shirt. You do need that shirt.
Very much so.
All right,
what else you got?
I got pick 2 of these 4 players in my last 2 flex spots. Brian Wen from Twitter, Isaiah Pacheco at Jacksonville, Brian Robinson at Denver, Drake London with Green Bay at home, or Christian Kirk versus KC. Pick 2 of those 4. Pick
Okay,
2.
so let's just assume PPR again. Didn't say PPR. Isaiah
Yeah.
Pacheco, Jacksonville, Brian Robinson, Denver, Drake London, Green Bay, Christian Kirk, Kansas City. So, school of thought here. Kirk had a really bad game. Normally, I like to put people in who have a terrible game that should be good players. I think that could be a high scoring game with Jacksonville and Kansas City. So I'm going to immediately say Christian Kirk. After that, Brian Robinson scares me a little bit because it's Denver.
Mhm.
Man, I might game stack here and go Isaiah Pacheco. Even though CEH with weird starting, like what the fuck are they doing with CEH? This man's been on the team for how many years now? This is year 5, I believe, and
No, stop. Year
it's at least
5.
year 4.
I believe it's maybe year 3 or 4.
Oh God, well now we need to look this up because now I need to see this.
I'm
But
pretty sure it's year 3, but
is it year 3? Why do I feel like he's been on that team longer? Because didn't they just decline his 5th year option?
then that would be year 4, and we'd have to meet in the middle.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm going to say Christian Kirk as well.
Year.
But the same reason you're starting Kirk would be the same reason you would start Drake London, that you're going to have a bounce back week.
He was picked in the 2020 draft, so this would be his year 4 of being in the NFL. 2020.
Anyway. So meet in the middle. Meet in the middle.
So year 4, man. Yeah, fuck it. I'm taking Isaiah Pacheco. Let's go Pacheco and Christian Kirk. Pacheco looked good when he ran the ball. He ran hard. I think that the coaching staff's going to see that. CEH was fine. I mean, I guess this is more of the fade the other players, right? Like the Falcons clearly don't want to throw the ball. I'm not putting London anywhere near my lineups until he shows it. I just don't think that that's going to happen this week. Brian Robinson, Denver has such a good defense. I fear that he's going to get stuffed. He better score a touchdown or else he's going to be probably a bum this week. So yeah, let's go. For me, it's Pacheco and Kirk.
I'm actually going to go Brian Robinson and Christian Kirk, and I think that Brian Robinson does find the end zone. I think Jacksonville's defensive line is a lot better than people believe, and they have very good linebackers as well. And I think it is more of a Jerick McKinnon type of week. He was a guy that was down in week 1. Not somebody I expect to be down again in week 2, as the Chiefs need to change things up a little bit. Obviously, their offense got a little bland and a little stale at the end of week 1. I think Jerick McKinnon's going to be a big part of kind of helping turn that around. And of course, the return of Travis Kelce. I am in agreement with you, not trusting Drake London until I get a good reason to start him. Only having just 1 target last week was absolutely irresponsible by Arthur Smith. I'm a big fan of the Falcons. I like what they do, but oh my gosh, my Drake London shares were screaming this past week. Not a fan of that. And again, I think Pacheco is good, but it does feel more like a committee. Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. Robinson was the clear-cut back. Like, what do you have, 14, 15 touches?
Huh. You think that we've been saying that all offseason long, too, about drafting Brian Robinson ahead of Antonio Gibson. Odd concept, though.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely dipped my fingers in both pies. I mean, I'm not going to say like I was in one camp over another.
I was definitely in the Brian Robinson camp for sure. But, and I've said that this was the knock on Antonio Gibson, and I mentioned this multiple times, is that this dude can't hold on to the damn ball. I don't know what his fucking problem is with holding on to the ball, but he needs to figure the shit out, because they gave him a long leash last year and he's still got in the doghouse. This year, with EB there, who wants to chop wood, it ain't happening. The lease is short. They will put in the rookie, guaranteed, because they like Chris Rodriguez. They will put that rookie in if Antonio Gibson starts continually putting the ball on the ground. So he better figure this shit out, because that ain't going to fly. So Antonio Gibson, you're all on notice, boy. Let's go.
No, I agree.
He ain't going anywhere near the Hall of Fame, I'll tell you that. But you want to know something? We do have something to talk about with the Hall of Fame. It's Hall of Fame bets, baby. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines, which I know we all love. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an unexpected probability for the entire parlay. Not sure I want to see that, though. All my parlays would probably be like, negative 4% percentage of hitting. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which players have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Small note on that, I did see their tweet today, which was pretty awesome. They put out like who has went over, I forget if it was 40 yards or 60 yards over the past so many games, and it showed like how many times like AJ Brown's went over 3 out of the past 5. Addison was 1 of 1. Obviously, he did it last week, so it's pretty cool to see. So definitely check them out. Again, promo code SGPN for 50% off your first month today. Lastly, Bruni and I heavy on the underdog fantasy, y'all. I don't know if you've been listening to us, but balls deep on best ball, and battle royales just started up. Get in and play some battle royales. If you like DFS and you like drafting, battle royales are for you. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real money. This week's special promotion, they're giving away $100,000. All you have to do is make a pick'em selection that includes Tua's passing yards, which is 277.5, higher or lower. Underdog is going to select 10 random winners to give out $10,000 each, too. And by the way, about that, it doesn't have to hit. Whether it's hit or not, you still entered to be a random winner. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with our promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN.
Okay, party on, Andrew, party on. And we're back. Right on. Let's ride. Let's ride.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we got next? How about
next question?
Jason S. from the SGPN Fantasy Football Discord. Are you still confident in David Njoku? I listened to Heroes and Villains in the offseason, and you guys were on him. Does he bounce back this week, or should I fire up Hunter Henry? Bruni, what say you?
Damn. I do like me some David Njoku, but
so do I.
Damn, yeah, that's tough because
disappointing.
Hunter Henry looked good in week 1. It was a bit of a disappointment. Mike Gesicki was included. He was in the game plan. So my Mike Gesicki takes still alive, but Hunter Henry did not get a lot of exposure to him this year. Grabbed a 1 share or 2 in redraft this past week. Mind you, I have about 20 teams. I kind of like that matchup up against Miami a bit more. I think I'm going to go with Hunter Henry here. We've seen him being included in the offense. He should finish as second, at least, in most targets for the Patriots this upcoming week. Miami's going to score a lot of points. Should be a lot of passing opportunities for the Patriots. Mac Jones actually looked a lot better than what I anticipated in week 1. I'm going to go with Hunter Henry. Dare I say looked better than Deshaun Watson. Dare I say.
Oh, tough, man. Very tough. Oh, God bless me. Sorry. Thank you. Oh, just pulled a Quinnen Williams there. Blessed myself and thanked myself. Did you ever see that with him?
I did not. No.
Oh, dude, he was in sorry, side note here. He was in, Quinnen Williams was in an interview, and he sneezed. He blessed himself and then thanked himself. It was awesome. So funny. You have to look that up. Pretty funny.
I'll have to look that up. That's awesome.
So you went Henry. I also like Henry. I actually like both these. I think Njoku has a bounce back week. I think you're fine starting either. Take your pick. Oh, man. Yeah, you know what, man? They're iced out this week. The white on white uniforms, it looks hot. Let's go Njoku for a bounce back week over Hunter Henry. Fade Henry this week. It's about David Njoku, baby. We were on him. I'm not off of him yet. The David Njoku train is still running. Plus, I mean, check those uniforms out, baby. White on white. Let's go. Let's ride. David Njoku for me. Let's go.
Man, imagine Deshaun Watson blessing those white uniforms. Ouch.
Ew, when you say blessing, what do you mean? That's pretty gross, dude.
I don't know what you meant. What are you talking? What
Are
are
you
you
saying because
talking about?
they wouldn't be able to see it on it? You're gross, man. You're sick, Bruni. Sick.
What a dark turn. What a dark turn. No, I don't believe the white jerseys are going to help. I'm not looking to the jerseys here for my pick. I'm going to stick with Henry. I'm going to go with the game flow, Andrew. The game flow.
Okay. Ebbs and flows. I get it.
Next question. Bruni, what happened to the Bears? They suck. You said they wouldn't suck, but they suck.
Jesus.
Yeah. Should I start DJ Moore this week? It's either him or George Pickens with Deontay out. Hingle McCringleberry from the U, also Twitter.
Do you know what that's from?
I do, from Key and
Yeah.
Peele. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Shout out Hingle McCringleberry. However, we got that question from you. That's fantastic. I'm sorry that the Bears suck. I was hoping that they wouldn't. They do. You're right. Until they show us otherwise, they've been put on notice. They suck. All that being said, I'm still starting I'm still starting DJ Moore. Excuse me. I was looking at George Pickens' name while I'm trying to say DJ Moore. I'm still starting DJ Moore. Has a good history up against Tampa Bay, and I feel like the Bears are going to make it a priority to get him involved early. Only having 2 catches for 25 yards, not enough for the investment, right? Obviously, the investment with their second round pick also not very good for Chase Claypool, but I think DJ Moore, again, just based on how often he's going to be playing, the amount of snaps, he's going to be on the field a lot. They're going to focus on trying to get him the ball downfield. I'm going back to the well with DJ Moore here. Doesn't mean the Bears still can't be very bad, and DJ Moore can't be good.
Give me George Pickens. No Deontay Johnson. Pat Freiermuth got banged up. He might be a less than 100%. Might not even play, but there's potential there. Yeah, I'll take George Pickens, man. I think that they're going to feed him the ball. I think he sees more targets than DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore this week as well. I agree with you, but for me, I would just slot Pickens in. You and I talked about it before the show. Like, we saw the whole George Pickens talking. I'm sorry. This is with a buddy. It wasn't with you, but on the sidelines, there was a video of George Pickens. I believe he was saying something about, I like it here, but this shit ain't it. Like, I think that he's a little disgruntled after week 1. I think they're going to feed him a little bit with DJ out. Yeah. Give me George Pickens. Doesn't matter what format.
Oh, take on the Antonio Brown role over there. Okay, George Pickens, sure.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, I saw Antonio Brown this weekend hanging out at Las Vegas when I was at the Blue Wire Studios with the SGP guys. He came in. Interesting fellow, to say the least. So shout out Antonio Brown.
I'm glad he was able to fulfill your Mike Tyson Vegas moment. That's fantastic. Did you guys get face tattoos together? Obviously,
no,
you didn't, but maybe he did.
No, he did get a haircut, but that was it.
Lame. All right, pick one of these 3 players from my flex to be my flex hero in week 2. Thanks so much. Love the show. James W. from the SGPN Fantasy Football Discord. Appreciate you, James.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hubbard.
Did he say,
"Let me be your hero"? Let me be your hero.
You ruined it. You didn't even play it the right way. You ruined it.
Sorry. I ruined it. Wow. Thanks, co-host.
New Orleans, Antonio Gibson at Denver, Juju Smith-Schuster versus Miami. These are bad options, James. These are bad options. These are not great. Is the answer Chuba Hubbard, Andrew? I think it is.
It's not Juju. I'll tell you that.
It's not Juju.
No, they do not like Juju. It is not Juju for me.
He was held out of 1 drive. Let's not overreact. He was held out of 1 drive. Let's chill, okay?
Yeah, he sucks. He's 5th on the depth chart. He's awful. Juju's terrible. It's
5th.
Antonio Gibson for me. I just gave him
the report was that he was behind the 5th or the 4th most liked pass catchers because there were 4 pass catchers ahead of him on the field for the last drive. He still played a ton of snaps. Still think he's going to be a good option.
He's dead to me.
It might. It doesn't take much to get on your shit list. I still 100%. Think the answer is Chuba Hubbard.
Okay. It's close for me, but I'm going to go Antonio Gibson. I just think that better offense, probably more scoring opportunities, even though Denver's defense is good. Everything I said about Antonio Gibson, I'm still sticking by. I do think that he needs to not put the ball on the ground. Now he's on a short leash, but I don't think that they're going to just completely fade him going into week 2. They're probably going to need him a little bit in this game. It's probably going to be close. I do think that he's still going to be utilized in the same role. I don't think they're going to lessen the role now, but if he does fumble, yeah, I don't think that they're going to lessen the touches by any means. I think that if he fumbles, you could see him sit on the bench the rest of the game. That is a real possibility. But I'm still going to go Antonio Gibson. His ceiling's higher to me over Chuba and definitely over Juju. This is a ceiling play for me over the floor play. Floor play is Chuba in my eyes, but I'll take the ceiling play on this one with Antonio Gibson, because if this is what your flex looks like, I don't know how good your regular team is. So let's go Gibson to potentially get you some decent points.
The flex, an irregular position on a regular team. I'm going to go with Chuba Hubbard. You nailed it. Safer floor. That's what I'm going to go with. And also, like you had just said, if this is what your flex looks like, the rest of your team is probably not very good. So with that, I will take the safer floor. Chasing the safer floor isn't always the worst thing. I get the advantage of chasing more upside, but man, Gibson, what do you have? Like literally 3 or 4 touches last week. Chuba has a role. Like they're using him and Miles Sanders interchangeably on whatever drive they're deciding, whether they're just going back and forth. So I like him a lot more. I think he's on the field the most of these 3 players. All right. Can't decide on my QB this week. Looking at Jordan Love at Atlanta or Dak Prescott versus the Jets. I was also considering Stafford off waivers. He plays the 49ers. Their defense was good, but I think the Rams get sneaky again. Thoughts? ? Tyler Sprayton from Facebook. Appreciate you, Tyler. So Dak at home with the Jets, Jordan Love at Atlanta, or Stafford at home versus San Francisco. I might be going back to the Rams here. I think I might be with Tyler here on this sneaky Ram situation. Matthew Stafford looked good, delivering the ball downfield.
Yeah, this one's
tough.
I don't
know if I can trust Jordan Love.
Oh man.
No, Dak had the worst production of the 3. He had the worst production of the 3 players.
Yeah, and now he goes and plays the Jets, who have a very good defense.
Right. No, I think it's down between Love and Stafford, and I think I lean with Stafford because of the experience, and I've seen more tape on Stafford. Like one good week out of Jordan Love up against a bad Bears defense, I don't think that's giving me enough conviction to start him over Stafford. I'd probably just play the waiver wire on this one.
Ugh. It is tough. This is ugly. I don't love any of these options. Hold on. I just want to look at something here. I want to see what the over-unders are for these games. Sometimes I will take that into consideration for quarterbacks and other positional players here.
I think Rams 49ers are going to have the highest, just looking at on paper. That should be in the high
Rams
40s.
Niners 44.5.
Okay, so mid 40.
Packers Falcons 40.5. And
Less.
let's see, where's the Cowgirls?
That's probably 40 or 42, maybe 44. The
Jets 38.5. So the Stafford one, the Stafford one or the Rams one is the highest scoring. I do worry though, man. The Niners defense is good. I worry Stafford has a down game. I'll take Love. Give me Love. I do think Falcons are going to be able to run a little bit on the Packers here. I think Love's going to have ample opportunities. Do we know, is Christian Watson playing yet this week?
He did not practice today. I thought he was going to be back, but he did not practice today. It sounds like he's not. And again,
what about Aaron Jones? Do we have any knowledge on him yet with that hamstring?
I don't believe he practiced today either, but he was saying he would be good. Like the player said he would be good, but I'm not sure. And you know, these guys are always talking themselves up. They're always. Deontay Johnson said he's day to day. The team said 4 weeks. You know, like that's just an example, though. You know what I mean? Like he says he's going to be good to go, but he's not practicing. Christian Watson already missed last week, still not practicing. I don't know if I can bet on him being there. And again, for me, it's kind of just betting on Lightning is going to strike twice with Jordan Love. I've just seen what Stafford can do. For me, it's an easier answer, but that's also because I'm a Bears fan. So omission.
Yeah, I'll still stick with Love. Yeah, It's close for me though. I think that we're on the right path. Fade Dak here, definitely.
Mhm.
But for me, it's Love. I'll take Love. It's tough.
All right, what's the next question?
Oh, let's see. Bruni, you said earlier in the week to start Baker Mayfield versus the Bears. Are you still good with that? This was from Anonymous Concerned Citizen.
They're coming at me today. I kind of like it. It's kind of turning me on. Yes, I am good to start Baker. Me and Emerson talked earlier in the week about this. Should you pick up Baker off the waivers? And I said, well, like the person was asking, should they drop Kenny Pickett for him? And I said, like, that's a lateral move. If you want to start Baker over someone, like say you lost Aaron Rodgers and you're just like desperate, I think that's a good answer, at least for week 2. Season long, I don't think he's going to be anything special for the rest of the year, but he has a good matchup against the Bears. Their defense looked bad. Their secondary is also beat up. Kyler Gordon, one of their corners, he's hurt. He's going to be missing some time. It's only getting worse. So, yes, I do think Baker is a good start for week 2. End of sentence. I can't co-sign on him beyond week 2 until after week 2.
Yeah, I don't know. This question isn't directed to me, but I will give a little bit of input here. I'm with you. Start Baker. Two good wide receivers. Yeah, I mean, 2 good wide receivers in Evans and Godwin.
Yeah.
Bears defense just got destroyed. Don't think they're fixing that in 1 week. Yeah, man. It feels ugly to say it, but this is the equivalent of a close your eyes special when gambling. This is a close your eyes special in fantasy. Just put him in there, close your eyes, pray to God that Baker can do some magic here and doesn't fall back into Baker tendencies. If he keeps the path, does what the coaches ask him to do, and is smart with the ball, I think he'll get good production this week. So yeah, man, let's ride with Baker 1 more week.
Let it ride. Did you hear what he said after they won the game?
No.
He said, great, now we can all go celebrate in the shower and hug each other or dance in the shower together.
Oh, okay. It's
a line from the Longest Yard, I believe.
Interesting. Okay. Baker is a pop culture kind of guy.
This guy wants to figure out how to acquire Kelsey.
First off, let's not say this guy. John Hernandez Gleaton, pro name, Hernandez Gleaton, man. I love that.
It sounds like a name of a high school.
Yeah, kind of. I like it though. Sounds fancy, kind of like a golfer.
Was wondering what Gleaton Dragons.
That's was wondering what I could do to acquire Kelsey in my 10-man half-point PPR league. That's a loaded question without seeing your team. It's kind of hard to tell you. Yeah, that's tough. I guess look at the guy's team, see what he might need. Give up your best tight end for sure. I mean, you're going to need to do that to acquire Kelsey. Not sure what your team looks like. Maybe give us a little bit more context and we can revisit this question. But yeah, I mean, I do give you a little caution. They did find blood in Kelsey's knee this week.
Blood in his knee?
Yeah, not like a blood pocket in his knee after he was running this week, after they tried him out.
That was just very vague. I was just like blood in his arm, blood in his knee.
No, just like it's not what you want to see per the doctors on Twitter. I read a doctor, is it David Choi or Chow or I always forget his last name. This Choi, pretty renowned, fantasy doctor essentially, said that is not what you want to see. So that's tough. So just buyers beware. Kelsey may not be ready yet, and if he's not, he needs to get that swelling down and that blood needs to go away before they're going to put him back on the field. They're not going to risk his life or his leg. So just buyers beware there a little bit. So John, Mr. Professional Hernandez Gleaton says, my team is Allen, Bijan, Chubb, Ridley, Godwin, Kittle, Cowgirls defense, Myers, benches Addison, Judy, Fryer, Algier, Bigsby, Ford.
That's tough.
Do you think, Bruni, just asking you personally, depending on what the Kelsey owner, would you give up Kittle and Addison? Addison had a good week 1 game. Do you think that's enough to get Kelsey, and would you do that?
That's not enough to get Kelsey, especially in a 10-man league. See, here's the thing is that the downside of losing one of these good players is that it's going to open up flexibility to play into your flex via the waiver wire, because the waiver wire is bountiful in 10-team leagues. So I would be looking at, yes, Kittle, probably Kittle, Judy.
He said
maybe
that he believes
an
that the
Algier.
Kelsey manager's RB weak, starting Pierce, Mostert, and has Akers on the bench. Problem is, with his
You
team,
don't have running
I'm not
back
giving
depth.
Bijan or Chubb. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
you
that
don't
right
have.
now.
He doesn't have running back depth. He doesn't have anyone else outside of those two.
No. So would you put a package together potentially for like Kittle, Algier, and Addison?
I would do Kittle, Algier, and Judy. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Maybe spring Judy before he comes back from injury.
I'd be willing to
that
give
way,
Godwin too.
Yeah, but Godwin actually looked kind of decent with Baker. At least he had like a fair amount of targets.
Yeah, but
I'll stick with that.
I'll fade that.
Personally, either one is fine. Either one. So yeah, Kittle, Godwin, Algier, or Kittle, Jerry, Algier. I think that's the move there. What did he say about James Cook?
He also has James Cook at his flex.
And,
I forgot about Lockett.
I could include both of those two in there as well. I like James Cook a lot, but if I'm getting Kelsey as an upgrade, I'm good with that. So I would do Kittle, Cook, Jerry. You could do something like that. I think that's what you're looking at here. You're not going to be able to keep Kittle. That's not going to happen.
I would say best advice to you, John, is look at your team, think about players you absolutely are not trading, and then go to the guy and say, hey, listen, I'm not trading these guys. I would like Kelsey. Let's put a package together. Who do you like on my team? See where his head's at, kind of go from there. Because if he's fully honest with you, or she, and tells you who they want for Kelsey, then you have a starting point. Like, all right, this is who they want. Yep. Let me see who I can undercut with a little bit here. Don't go balls to the wall right away. Try to undercut, see what you can do. And kind of go from there. But so he said,
and I would pull Akers out of there. I don't think you need to do that. I think
you don't want Akers.
I think you just get the job done doing a 3-for-1 for Kelsey with like a wide receiver 3, like a Lockett, or a wide receiver 2, like Jerry or Godwin, your flex RB and a Cook, and then Kittle. I think that can get it done.
I personally would not do 3 players because
he doesn't have 2 that's going to pique their interest.
Yeah, I mean, you never know where people's heads are at, but the problem is with giving 3 for 1, then that person has to give up 2 on their thing. I've never had a success doing that because people are like, I don't have 2 players on my team. I want to put on the.
But again, in 10-man, you can make up so much space with the waiver wire. There's so much variability in there. I mean, you're going to be able to get Akers production anytime off the waiver wire in a 10-man league, especially if it's just redraft.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that the guy who currently has Kelsey, he would have to take 2 players off of his bench.
Oh,
because he's getting 3. So like in a 10-man league, especially, you have good players. So he's like, I don't want to drop 2 of those guys, right?
Yeah, Hollywood Kelsey.
Fine. Where the hell did Hollywood come from?
To come back instead of Akers, because you said not Akers. Akers sucks. That's what.
I get it. No, Hollywood. No. Just take Kelsey. I'd rather go to the waiver wire. Fuck, Hollywood Brown is dead. He's dead to me. He's awful.
Not great.
Bad. Terrible.
All right, last question, and then we're going to head out here. I'm not feeling good about T. Higgins after week 1. Is he a potential bench candidate? I have Lockett, Cortland Sutton, and OBJ on my bench.
Absolutely not.
Swing away misses from Reddit. So T. Higgins versus Baltimore, Lockett at Detroit, Sutton versus Washington, or OBJ at Cincinnati. You're sticking with
How
T.
dare you even bring it? So swings away misses. Kudos to you. That's a cool kind of name. How dare you even put OBJ in this consideration with T. Higgins? Get that out of my face. I
respect you, but I hate you.
Yeah, OBJ, that's terrible. That is just no, absolutely not. Sutton, maybe Judy comes back here. I think they're going to get Marvin Mims a little bit more in.
Judy practiced in full today.
Okay, so Judy's coming back. One of these guys is going to see Emmanuel Forbes, who had a very good game week 1 against for the Commanders. For me, it's not Sutton. Lockett, a little closer, but still, man. I mean, T. Higgins, 8 targets, no catches. If he has 4 of those catches for 60 yards, this isn't even a question. So it's Higgins for me, 1,000%.
Well, Sutton scored a touchdown in week 1. I think that is in question still. Because Jerry's coming back, I agree with you. I think T. Higgins is still the answer. But if Jerry wasn't coming back, I would pull the trigger on Sutton in a heartbeat. He scored a touchdown. They only
Yeah,
scored
great.
16 points.
Against the Raiders. Are you telling me you think the Raiders defense is as good as the Commanders defense? Get Bruni. Come on now.
They got to pass the ball. And honestly, the Commanders defense didn't look amazing versus Arizona.
How many touchdowns? They let up one touchdown. Okay.
Okay.
One touchdown. One. Yeah, and you know how it was? It was on a Sam Howell fumble. No offensive touchdowns.
Sounds like it's just as good as the Raiders defense that only allowed one touchdown.
Yeah, one offensive touchdown, not one defensive touchdown. I'm just saying. Just saying. It's T. Higgins 1,000%. I wouldn't even think about this question. All
right, there you go. I agree with you, but if Jerry was still on the bench, still missing time, I would go with Sutton here. Lockett and OBJ, just not enough life for me. John, appreciate you. No worries. He was asking what Twitter account gave you that Kelsey info.
Oh, I think it's Dr. David. It's Dr. David something Choi Chow. I think is where I saw it. Hold on.
I think that's Dr. David Chow via Sports Grid. If that's if we're talking about the same people.
Oh God, where am I? I don't follow the guy. I just saw somebody liked it and I read it. Damn it. I'll tell you what, John.
Like and read.
Yeah, John, if you aren't in our Discord yet, get in the SGPN Discord. I'll try to put it in there and alert everybody. Go to the Discord and jump in SGPN Discord. Bruni, do you have that link in the show docs here? Show notes for Discord?
It's if he's on YouTube, he should be able to just scroll down and it should be in the notes, the Discord link. Yeah.
Go down to the Discord link, hit the Discord link, get in the Discord. We'll answer all start sit questions there for you, any trade questions. So definitely get in the Discord and I'll try to put that in there for you at some point when I find it. So hop in that Discord and let us know that you have got in.
Yes, sir. We are going to head out for the night. Appreciate everybody that came and rode with us. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at SGPN Fantasy Football. Download the episodes. We've got all the good stuff for you. Redraft, Dynasty, IDP, injury updates, and all sorts of goodness. Come and ride with us. We will take care of you. Andrew, anything to share before we head out?
So I didn't find the article from David, from Dr. David Chow Choi Chui, whatever it is. But here I did just Google Kelsey blood and knee. It says Kelsey, Chiefs primary pass catcher, suffered a hyperextended knee during last Tuesday practice, required a reported 45 cc of blood to be drained from the area in its aftermath after practicing on Friday. So he did try to go. And he had 45 cc's of blood drained from the area. It just says that this is not what you would like to see after the hyperextended knee injury. So take that with a grain of salt, but I don't think that that's exactly what they're looking for. So
why can't we take it with a grain of pepper? Everyone's always talking about salt. What about pepper?
What about pepper? I love pepper, actually.
The thing about pepper. All right, now we got to go. Sorry, it was just the Seinfeld background. I figured I'd toss it in there. All right, we're going to head out. Everybody take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see.